Welcome. Let's do some yoga. I invite you to find a comfortable seat or come laying down onto your back, or perhaps child's pose would feel good. So find a place that feels comfortable for your body and go ahead, move there now. Once you have arrived in that place that feels comfortable, close the eyes and let's begin to connect with ourselves here and now in this moment. Take a deep breath in, feeling the breath as you fill up the lungs and let the breath out, releasing the lungs. Notice on the next breath the ground underneath the body. On the next breath, notice the sounds in your space. Notice the sensations against the skin. Bring the awareness to the belly. As we inhale, notice the belly expand. And as we exhale, notice the belly soften. Bring awareness to the rib cage, and as we inhale, notice the rib cage expand. And notice the rib cage soften. And now take a breath, expanding with the inhale, side to side in the ribs, front to back in the belly. Filling up the whole body with breath, and as we exhale, having a sense of feeling grounded, centered, and aware where we are here and now. If you like, for your practice today, set an intention or make a dedication. Setting intentions are one of the most powerful and empowering things that we can do for ourselves. And then let every breath and every movement be one step to fulfilling that intention or one offering for that dedication. Let's take our time, move into a tabletop pose so that we can start warming up the body. So let's come to hands and knees. As we have our tabletop pose, connect down into the hands, press into the mat, and slowly begin to cat and cow the spine. Small movement at first, letting the chin draw into the chest as you inhale and as you exhale. Pressing sits bones up, pressing the chest forward through the window of the arms. Starting to move the spinal fluid create space in the spinal vertebrae. Remember to keep connecting the breath and the movement. And as you feel ready, if you like, move more organically. You can rock front to back. You can move around on the wrist. Or start to move through your cat and cow, figurating your spine around through space. We've been moving in one direction, switch, move around in the other direction. Slowly start to bring yourself back to center in our tabletop. And we'll come into spinal balance and gate pose this morning or today, whenever you're watching this recording. Extend the right leg long, flex the foot, and then float the toes up off the ground. Pull the belly button up to the spine. Extend the left arm out and away from the body, feeling your balance here. And now we're going to keep the leg lifted. Place the hand back to the floor. Start to stack the right half of the body on the left. Place the right foot towards the back of the mat. And then reach the right arm open. And now press the hips open and upward. Breathe into the side body. If you like, finding balance for a moment, lifting the foot up off of the floor. On the next breath, coming back to our tabletop pose. Let's do the other side. Extend the left leg, flex the foot. Flip the toes up from the floor. Tug the belly button up to the spine and engage the core. Reach the right arm out, finding our spinal balance. On the next breath, release the hand back to the ground. And now start to stack the left side of the body over top of the right, placing the left foot towards the back of the mat. And then reach the left arm up and open. You may like to look up towards the hand. Press up through the hips. Breathe into the rib cage. And if you like, for a moment, float the foot up off of the floor and find your balance. On the next breath, let's release back down into our tabletop pose. And now from here, coming into downward facing dog, remember to make a grip with the hands through the pads of the fingers. Starting out in our crouching dog, curl the toes under, float the knees off the floor, keeping the knees bent. And now press the chest towards the thighs. And then slowly, maybe starting to lengthen out the legs, allow the head and the neck to be heavy. And the legs may not lengthen out. Now, wore it all through this practice, that's okay. Just finding the pose, breathing, engaging down through the shoulder girdle, through the arms, and in to the pads of the fingers as we keep pressing our chest back, allowing our head and neck to relax. If you'd like to find walking the dog, slowly send one heel to the ground and then the opposite knee. Use the breath, and then on the next breath, switch, sending the opposite heel to the ground and bending the opposite knee. Move slowly. We're not running the dog. This is just one breath per movement. And for me, when I practice this, I also notice stretching through my upper ribs and in my shoulder girdle. So there may be sensations beyond the backs of the legs, beyond the calves or the hamstrings. Let's prepare to come into forward fold by finding stillness. And on our next breath, bend our knees a lot, look towards our hands, and then move the feet to the hands, stepping, hopping, or floating to a forward fold. Good. Let's grab opposite elbows here. And once again, you can keep your knees as bent as you like. Traction the spine forward. Let the head be heavy. If you like, visualize breathing in through the bottoms of the feet, up the backs of the legs, and exhaling, breathing down and out through the shoulders and through the crown of the head. Breathing with intention to open the back body. On our next breath, let's slowly come up to standing. Remember to let the head be the last thing to arrive as our blood pressure is adjusting. Take your time. No need to rush. The only place to be is here and now. Stepping to the top of our mat, if we're not already there, let's begin our practice of Shiva Namaskara and sun salutations. Standing up tall in Tadasana, mountain pose with the arms beside the body, palms facing forward. Press down through the shoulders. Press down through the feet. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. On our inhale, reach the arms up over the head, stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as we come down, using blocks if you like. Step the right foot back and we'll come to a low lunge. Drop the knee down to the ground, send the pelvis forward, lift the gaze, starting to open up our hip flexors. On the next breath, stepping back to plank, which you can always do on the knees if you like. Engage the core, drop knees, chest and chin, coming to 8-point bow, sliding forward onto the belly, lifting the heart space open, cobra or sphinx. On the next breath, shift back to downward facing dog. Press back like you're coming into child's pose. And then curl the toes under, sweep the hips back and up. On the next breath, release the right foot. Step the right foot between the hands, coming to a low lunge. Drop the left knee to the ground. Send the pelvis forward, lift the gaze. Step both feet together, gathering up the body. Have a sense of gathering up your energy as we come to the top of the mat. With inhale, return to standing, stretching the arms up over the head. With the exhale, float the hands to heart center in Pranamasana. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Every breath, every movement, offering. Step the left foot back, low lunge. Drop the knees and the pelvis forward. Lift the gaze. Plank pose. Exhale, 8-point bow, Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, chin meet the ground. Then sliding onto the belly to open up the front body through cobra or sphinx. Good. Shifting back now, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Release the left foot from the floor. Swing the left foot up between the hands. Return to a low lunge. Drop the back knees and the pelvis forward. Lift the gaze. Gather up the body into forward folding at the top of the mat. Return to standing with inhale by reaching the arms up over the head, stretching upwards. Exhale the hands into the heart space. Take a moment here to offer gratitude, to repeat your intention or dedication, and remembering that every breath, every movement is one more breath or movement to fulfill that intention or offering for your dedication. Surya Namaskar A. Let's slightly constrict the throat. Breathe in and out through the nose. Hear the sound of your breath. There's a little bit of force, a little bit of effort. This breath should be warming up the body itself before we even start to move. On our next inhale, let's reach up with the arms. Exhale, fold forward, fold in. Halfway lift as we inhale. Exhale, finding our plank on top of the push-up. Engaging the core by tugging the belly button to the spine. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Hug the elbows into the side body. Now slide forward, open up the front body. In Cobra, Up Dog, or you can still do your Sphinx. Shift back into Downward Facing Dog. Take a few breaths. On the next breath, release Downward Dog and return to Forward Fold. Inhale, back to standing, reaching the arms up over the head. Exhale, draw the hands down to the heart space. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale to plank. Engaging the core and then lowering chaturanga. Hug the elbows to the side body. Open up the front body. Shifting back, downward dog this time. One long breath. Inhaling for 6. Exhaling for 6. Let's return to the top of the mat with new breath. Step, hop, or float the feet to the hands. Inhale, come back up to standing. Reaching upward. Exhale, drawing the hands, drawing the energy back into the heart space. Coming back into ourselves. Pausing here. Feeling the breath, feeling the heartbeat. Have a sense on the next breath of inhaling through all the pores of the skin. And as we exhale, connecting ourselves with all creation, with everything there is in the universe. Let's find our warrior flow now. Inhale, lift up the arms. Exhale, fold. Warrior 1, step the right foot back. Lift up the arms straight out away from the body. Draw the shoulder blades together and then float the fingertips up. Deep in the bend in the front knee. Pyramid pose, lengthen out the front leg, bring the hands down to the hips. Exhale, reach the chest out and over the leg, and then slide the hands down the leg onto your blocks, or maybe reach towards the floor. On the next breath, come back up to warrior one. Release the hands on the exhale back down to the ground. And from here, you have an option to flow or to step back to downward dog. If you like to flow, plank pose, lower chaturanga, open the front body, and then we land in the down dog. Taking a breath here. On the next breath, come back to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, return up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart space. Beautiful, take a breath. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Warrior one on the other side. Step the left foot back this time. Reach both arms up, straight out away from the body. Draw the shoulder blades together. And inhale, lift the fingertips up, deep in the bend in the front knee. Pyramid pose. Straighten out the front leg, finding length in it. Bring the hands onto the hips. And then hinge the hips forward, reaching the chest forward over the leg. Stay here or slide the hands down the shin. You can place the hands on your blocks or reach the fingertips towards the floor. Just try to keep as much length in the front leg as possible, opening up the back of the front leg. Beautiful. Return back to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Just for a moment, big breath in. As we exhale out, bringing both hands down to the ground. Stepping back to plank. Finding flow or finding your rest. We're going to pause now, either in your downward dog or your child's pose, or any pose that feels good, for 3 full breaths. Allowing ourselves to recenter here. Okay, if you're not already in Adho Mukha Svanasana, if you're not already in downward facing dog, please make your way there. We'll come into a warrior 2 sequence now. We'll start by raising our left leg up into 3-legged dog, bend the knee and stack the hip, take a breath. And now left foot steps up to the top of the mat. We open up to the long edge of the mat to find warrior 2. Opening up the arms, squeeze the fingers together. Take the gaze down and out over the left arm. Press through the feet. Press through the shoulders. Relax, soften the jaw, releasing anything that you don't need to express the pose. With the next breath, coming into balance in Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. So we'll follow our left hand over to our block or over to the floor. Stack the right half of the body over the left the same way we did in our little warm up with gate pose. Maybe lift the right arm up towards the sky. On the next breath, let's release the balance back to warrior two. Moving now into extended side angle pose. Keep the legs where they are. Shift the ribs out and over the left leg. Right arm up over the ear. Rotate the chest and the heart space open. On the next breath, come back up. Take the bend out of the front knee in preparation for triangle. Inhale, reach both arms up. Press the shoulder blades down. Exhale, stretch out and over the left leg. Rotate the torso open. Try to stretch even more through the fingertips. And then open up the arms. Good. If it feels okay in your neck, look up towards the top hand. Keep pressing down the bottom edge of your back foot, or the back edge of your back foot. On the next breath, release the pose, come back to warrior two. Let's find our lizard lunge. Exhale the hands to the ground inside of the left foot. Move the left foot over to the long edge of the mat. Pop up onto the back toes, slide the hips back and forth. Shift the hips around a bit. Let the back knee hit the ground and then settle down onto the forearms. Breathe into the hips. Staying for one more breath. And now take your time to release. Swing the left leg behind the body, send the hips to the heels, come into your child's pose. Allow the forehead, the center of the brow to hit the ground. Check in with yourself, check in with your inner teacher. Repeat mentally your intention or your dedication. Think about continuing to put energy towards that intention or dedication as we move through the remainder of our practice. On the next inhale, slide the belly forward, opening up Cobra, Sphinx, or Upward Dog. Shift the body back, Downward Facing Dog. And we'll come into the Warrior Two sequence on the other side. Big breath in to lift up the right leg, three-legged dog, bend the knee, and stack the hip. Step the right foot up between the hands to warrior two. opening to the long edge of the mat. And then press into the feet, press into the hands, squeeze the fingers together. Take the gaze down and out over the right arm. Feeling your strength in the pose, but relaxing the jaw and any other effort that we don't need in order to do this pose. On the next breath, find balance, half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Follow the right fingertips over to the floor or to your block. Stack the left half of the body over top of the right, just like we did in our gate pose. Beautiful. On the next breath, release this balance. Come back to warrior two. Finding extended side angle now. Keep the legs where they are. Shift the right ribs out and over. Drop the right arm down. Left arm up and over the ear. Rotate chest and the heart space open. Press into the feet. Staying here for just 2 more breaths. On the next breath, release the pose, lengthen out the front leg in preparation for Trikonasana. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, stretch out and over the leg. Reach through the side body. Rotate the torso open. Stretch through the fingertips. Finding as much length as possible and then opening the arms. Good. If it's okay with your neck, look up towards the top hand. Take one more big breath in your triangle pose. And then we'll release this pose back into our warrior two. From here, lizard lunge. Exhale, both hands to the inside of the right foot. Pivoting onto the back toes, shift the right foot over towards the long edge of the yoga mat. Move the hips around, slide the hips back and forth, rock and roll. Lift the hips. And then we'll take 5 breaths, settling into lizard lunge. You can stay on the hands or drop onto the outer forearm and the inner forearm. Of course, if you have a deeper lizard, go ahead and breathe. Breathing into the hips. Take one more breath. Release the pose. Slide the leg behind the body. From here, either resting in child's pose or finding plank, and then one more flow through chaturanga. And if you did that flow through your chaturanga, letting yourself land back in your downward dog, take a breath in down dog. And then land in child's pose, sending the hips back to the heels. Checking in with yourself, coming back to this moment, this time, space, offering gratitude. Let's come into some front body opening this morning, or whenever you're viewing this video, slide onto the belly. This is locust pose. You don't have to do locust pose. You can do any other front body opening that you like. We're going to place both hands together underneath the forehead. And on our inhale, extend through the toes and then lift the feet up off the floor. Good. Exhale, release. And now just the chest. Inhale, reach through the crown of the head. Sweep the front body up off the ground with feet on the floor. Good. And release. And now you can repeat one of those motions or do it simultaneously. Inhale, stretch out through the whole body, reaching through the toes, through the crown, and lift up the feet, lift up the forehead into locust pose. Shalabhasana. One more breath. Exhale, release. Landing on the belly. Breathe into the back body. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And let's come into seated from here, into a little bit of stretching. If you like, find a folded blanket or something to bolster up the hips. Let's extend both legs straight out away from the body. Keep the right leg extended. Draw the left leg in. Place the left foot, the inside of the right leg in preparation for Janu Sirsasana head to knee pose. Take a breath, reach the arms up. Exhale, reach out and over. And grab onto the leg, the foot, wherever you can. If you're grabbing onto the foot and you feel like you have space, cross the wrist and pull the forehead towards the knees as the elbows move out to the side. And breathe 5 breaths. Helping to stretch out and make space for the sciatic nerve, sometimes called the life nerve in yoga. On the next breath, release the pose, coming back up. Let's switch sides. Send the left leg out and away from the body, then the right knee, draw it in. Place the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Sit up tall. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, reach out and over. Grab onto the leg or onto the foot. Draw the forehead towards the knee. And 5 breaths. Release the pose. Down angle, Baddha Konasana. Bend the left knee, bringing the soles of both feet together. Now knees open to the side. Good. Sit up tall. Take a big breath in and exhale. Reach out and over the legs. Try to let the head relax. Draw the forehead towards the feet. Breathe into the hips. Breathe into the sensations. Let's take 5 full breaths. On the next breath, release the pose. Bring the feet to the floor and knees point up to the ceiling. From here, we're going to roll down onto the back body. If you like to engage your core, use deep core strength to help. Slowly, slowly, slowly move the back, the floor. Good. And we'll come into our bridge pose and shoulder stand practice. We'll do about 10 breaths. So you can do just bridge or just shoulder stand or a combination of both, which is what I'm going to cue. Bridge pose, bending the knees, feet flat to the floor. Feel a little tuck of the pelvis by drawing the belly button to the spine. And now press down into the feet so that the hips want to float up. Good. You can stay here, place a block under the sacrum, interlace the hands under the body and roll up onto the shoulders a little more. Good. Breathe. Feel like you're squeezing a block between the knees. Take one more breath and release. You can repeat your bridge pose or to come into shoulder stand, Sarvangasana. Lift the legs up to the ceiling, hug the inner thighs together. We're going to rock onto the shoulders, place the hands behind the back, the lower ribs, squeeze the elbows and shoulders together. Try to feel like you have a tennis ball or an orange between the chin and the chest so that there's some space. Make sure you're squeezing the legs together, big toes touching, and gazing straight up towards the feet. Breathe here, be here. You can actually also do this pose supported with a block under the sacrum. On the next breath, release either into plow by dropping the toes over the head or just hug the knees to the chest. Let's come into fish pose now. Make a triangle between the thumb and the index finger of each hand and place it under the sacrum with the legs extended up to the ceiling or the sky. Then send the legs back to the floor, rock up onto the seat, drop back down to each forearm, wiggling that triangle of the thumb and index finger underneath the sacrum. Press the chest open, reach the crown of the head back. On the next breath, release the whole body down to the floor. Taking a breath in a Shavasana for a moment. To notice whatever there is to notice. We'll close this practice with figure four stretch and with spinal twist and then Shavasana for longer. Let's start with figure four stretch. Cross the right foot in front of the left knee. And then lift the legs into the chest. Draw the left knee towards the body as we push the right knee away from the body and breathe. Take one more breath. Release the left foot to the floor, spinal twist. Scooch the hips to the right. You can uncross this leg or just continue to cross it over. Take the left hand and draw both knees down over to the left side. Open the right arm out to the side. Turn the head to look out over the right arm. Relax into the twist. Unwinding, releasing. On the next breath, come out of the twist. Unwind the legs back to center. Figure four stretch, other side. Pick up the left foot, cross the left ankle in front of the right knee. Lift the right foot up off the floor. Grab onto the right leg. And now draw the right knee towards the body as we press the left knee away from the body using dynamic tension to generate the stretch. On the next breath, release the foot back to the floor and then continue to cross the left leg over or uncross it entirely. Use the right hand, dropping both knees to the right for spinal twist. Open the left arm out to the side, turn the head and look out over your left arm. Take one more breath. Go ahead, come back to center, release the pose. Hug both knees up into the chest. Rock from side to side. If you enjoy happy baby, grab onto the soles of the feet, find your happy baby pose. And begin to make yourself comfortable to do final rest, Shavasana. So you can just lay down here. You have a wall nearby. You can turn and send your legs up the wall. Maybe you'd like to lay on your belly or your side for Shavasana. Whatever would feel most comfortable in your body, go ahead and come there. Relaxing into the space of stillness. Relax the toes. Relax the feet, the ankles. Relax the legs, the knees. Relax the hips. Relax the fingers. Relax the hands. Relax the wrists. Relax the elbows. Relax the arms. Relax the shoulders. Relax the chest. Relax the rib cage. Relax the jaw, relax the tongue inside of the mouth so that it rests behind the lower side of the teeth. Relax the eyes and the eye sockets. And now back of the head heavy. Upper back heavy. Arms left heavy. Legs heavy. Hips heavy. Whole body heavy against the ground. Let's begin to deepen breath now, bringing ourselves back, coming back. Feel the ground under the body. Become aware of the sounds in your space, the sensations against the skin. Bend the knees, put the feet flat, floor if you like. Bring the palms, the hands together, start to rub the hands to create heat from friction. And then we'll cup the hands over the eyes and gently blink open the eyes into the hands so the light comes in slowly. If you like, stretch the body out long like an arrow. Now slowly move into a comfortable seat and we'll close our practice. Once we've arrived and seated, An invitation to you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let the hands rest in the lap or on the knees, or float the palms of the hands together at the heart space. And let's take several breaths here, nourishing our intention, making a final offering to our dedication, whatever it was that you created for this practice, knowing that you can always create it newly and take it with you off the mat. We'll seal this practice with the sacred sound current, the Shabbat Guru Om sound, which is a resonance of peace and creation, protection, the sound that connects us to infinity, to the beginning and the ending, to all creation, all the universe, all that is and was and will be. Taking a breath in and letting it out. And now taking one big breath in. Om. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for practicing with me. And that concludes this practice.